Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. That should brighten your day a little. Actually, a lot. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Who remembers the BJ and Bill Show all those years ago on WOLZ? Well, many have said they missed the show, and guess what? They're back. Welcome to the BJ and Bill podcast.
Welcome to BJ and Bill, the podcast, a part of the Podcast Playground Network, where we ask you to review, my friends. Give us a 5-star review, and we will be greatly appreciated. You can subscribe, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your favorite podcast, which hopefully is this one. As we kick off episode My Age, my friends. So it's a doozy, 68.
Wow. And as we record this, of course, we record on a Monday and release on Wednesday. We're a 1 week countdown exactly till Christmas. Are you ready, BJ Odom? Are you ready?
I'm never ready for Christmas.
I saw your pictures on social media the other night. You were at some little snowball party or something like that. It was cute.
Yeah, it was like, our 55 active community had a little soiree called the Snowball. And so we went to the Snowball and had food, and I didn't dance, but a few people danced. There was actually snow in Claremont, Florida.
I saw that. How did they had some snowmaking machine, or was it fake snow?
It was a snowmaking, basically, I think made out of bubbles or whatever,
okay.
They can make it look like snow, but it's actually kind of, I don't know, but they had a snowmaking machine. It never stuck to the ground.
Okay.
Stuck to my hair for a little while, but never stuck to the ground.
It looked good, but here's all that matters on social media. Here is the only thing that matters. It looked good in pictures. The pictures look cute, the snow.
I felt like I was in a Hallmark movie.
Oh no, the dreaded Hallmark movie. Well, at least you knew the plot then.
Yeah, I did.
You knew how it would end. So there you go.
I was kind of still had my cold, so I should have kissed the wife, but it wouldn't have mattered anyway because now she has my lovely cold.
Well, I mean, you guys do kind of live together. So yeah, you're going to kind of be sharing it. So yeah, I hear you. So, okay, that's fine. So anyway, that's cool. So the snowball was fun. I was a total couch potato yesterday. I mean, and pretty much the whole weekend, because now that the college football season is over, the NFL, of course, feels like they can take over Saturday. So there were games on Saturday, games on Sunday, games Sunday night, which I don't want to talk about. I cried a lot watching my Jacksonville Jaguars get manhandled by. They didn't so much get manhandled by Baltimore as Baltimore just. What do they used to say? Just let just let BJ be BJ. Baltimore was Baltimore last night. They, what's his name? Lamar Jackson is incredible. He's like a ballet dancer. He dances around. He gets out of the way of people. And then when he turns on the jets, he's good for 5 or 10 yards when you thought he was going to get caught in the background. And that went on all night. And I did something I very rarely do. I got sick and tired of it. And I turned the game off with about 4 or 5 minutes left to go. And I went to bed, cried myself to sleep. So
maybe you can blame me because I don't know what my luck changed yesterday. The teams I rooted for yesterday, they all won.
They actually won. Yeah, I know, because in the past couple of weeks, we've had this thing going on where BJ has told me, I don't know if we've talked about it much, but he's texted me. It's like, all right, who do you want to win? And I'll root for the other team, kind of a thing. And so that it didn't work yesterday. I told you needed to root for Baltimore, and by God, they didn't apparently need your help. So they won it quite fast. So anyway, Jacksonville still in good position come playoff time, but they looked flat. And then just before we literally just were turning on the recording, Miss Alexa, over in the corner there, told me that Trevor Lawrence is in concussion protocol. So anyway, it's just, I don't know. They'll be okay, but I don't see them going deep into the playoffs. So, anyway, here we are talking football as we usually do on a Monday morning quarterbacks.
Hopefully Baker will play as good as he did. I think that was probably the best game I've ever seen him play, except for early in the game. He kind of gave them the ball on the 5-yard line, which wasn't good.
Right. Wasn't good. But anyway, they came back.
He's just hey, look, I got the ball. Here, you take it. You're real close. We took it away from you. You could have had a touchdown there, and you went for it on the 4th down, and we beat you, and I feel bad now. So here's the football back on the 5-yard line where you were, and we'll call it even. Sons of a bitches.
Hey, they won. They won. My old team, my Cleveland Browns, where apparently now in Cleveland, the saying is we are wacko for Flacco. That's a thing. Yes. As you were reminding me, they beat the Chicago Bears. Not everybody. They've won a few games, but it was a game they definitely should have won. It was looking a little doubtful towards the end, but I want to thank, I don't know if it was NBC or CBS, whoever. I was watching the early game on Monday. That ended quickly or ended before the top of the hour. So they gave me the last 5-6 minutes of the Cleveland Browns game from Cleveland. So I was very happy to be able to watch my old Cleveland Browns beat the Chicago Bears. So, all right. Yeah, you're right. A game they absolutely should have won, and they did. So good for them. So football has been, it's been a crazy season. It really has.
Yeah. And I thought Atlanta was going to probably be the winner of the South there. But I don't know. They lost yesterday to Carolina. So
they lost to Carolina. If the Browns would have lost to Chicago, that would have been ugly. Atlanta losing to Carolina, which had won one game, was really ugly. I saw something, and I don't know if this was just somebody pranking them or whatever. I thought I saw an Instagram post that you could have bought a seat to the game in Carolina yesterday for less than $1.
For $1. They were selling tickets for $1. They wanted to sell out. They pretty much got their sellout. Lots of noise in the crowd. And I guess it did Atlanta in.
Okay, great. It's like we both said, what a crazy game. What a crazy season it's been. What a long, strange trip it's been. So here we are getting down to the last couple of weeks. All good. All good. All right.
With Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino, with cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
We're going into the holidays, and we missed our chance, Bill Stevens. We missed our chance.
Wait a minute. He's holding up a picture, and that picture is Santa, and I can't see who else it is.
It's Tom Drake and his beautiful wife, Dottie.
Okay.
But that's not where we missed it. I got
this
car.
It looks like, what, are they on a cruise or something?
Well, they're always on a cruise.
Right.
She's a cruise director. He's a cruise ship comedian. They're always on a cruise.
Right.
Unless they're here in Orlando.
What did we miss?
Here's what we missed. Let's see if you can read that. If you would,
Tom Drake's. Yeah. Oh, well, nice marketing, Tom. Big bold letters on the back of the Christmas card. Tom Drake's Daily Cruise and Travel News Podcast. Awesome. We missed. So you're saying next year we need to get our very own Christmas cards with BJ and Bill, the podcast, stamped on them big and bold.
And he's even got, I don't know what those things are called, where it's got all those little.
QR code.
Yeah, QR code, I guess, too.
Right.
He's rocking it, man.
So all that means is that, note to the BJ and Bill staff, because I know we have a huge staff of producers and all that, to post something on social media with a Christmas card from BJ and Bill. That's a good idea. Now I have, look, I got to go to the mailing box today. I'm actually look at me.
Whoa.
I'm sending Christmas cards. I actually started that last year after not sending Christmas cards for years and years and years and years. Of course, I was living with a lady who wasn't a big fan or anything like that.
Now,
so I think I'm going to send like 10 Christmas cards this year, mostly family.
Now, my wife has sent out Christmas cards.
That's cool. I like that.
In fact, I'm going to be seeing my son this week because we're heading into Christmas.
Right.
I was going to bring him a card with some green stuff in it.
Oh, really? Oh, there you go.
That's what
lettuce,
that's
kale,
the way
broccoli, what?
I give the family lettuce because, I don't know ever what to buy for them. So here, kid, have some lettuce.
Have some lettuce.
Your dad loves you. But I didn't know my wife sent him a card. So my son calls me the other day and said, thank you for the Christmas card. He's probably going, my dad didn't put any lettuce in it this year. What the hell's wrong with him? I'm paying him this money and he didn't even give me any of it back.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. I mean, I get it with parents to kids and family like me. When I send like Christmas cards, I haven't done it yet this year, but I probably will. My niece and my nephew I have in California. I'll put some lettuce in there. I'll put some greenbacks in there. But for a parent, I mean, that's kind of weird, isn't it? You're going to see them. Why would you put? I don't know.
I'm going to take him a card. I'm going to take him a card when I see him.
Right.
And that will have the lettuce in it.
Yeah, but I mean, he doesn't need it. I mean, I guess I'm trying to think. It just you do you. Of course, you do what you feel is best. It just seems a little strange. He doesn't need it. He's making decent money. You're not.
But I am the parent.
Well, there's the point. I guess that's the point, right?
I even feel bad giving him what I'm giving him because I'm going to bet. Well, he's already has because he's already told me he's bought me tickets to the game in Orlando. You know me, I'm a big Warriors fan, Steph Curry.
Right.
And I wouldn't doubt the tickets are pretty close the way he plays bingo.
Right.
They're probably down close.
Oh,
and
sure.
So the lettuce I give him probably is not even going to cover that ticket.
I'm sure it won't.
And it makes me as a father feel very sad.
Sad, BJ, or inadequate?
Inadequate. Okay. Let's use that.
Boy, this is all of a sudden it's turned into a therapy session. Look at that.
I'm proud of my boy.
Of course, he's done great things.
Extremely proud.
Yes.
But I feel inadequate. Like you said, I feel like I always feel like the dad should be, I don't know, the breadwinner and giving the kid. But, he's like, I'm an old man. He's a grown man now.
Right.
So, I mean, I get it. My dad didn't spend as much on me as I got older. And how do you buy something for like a kid that's like grown anyway?
That's the problem. What do you, there is anything your son needs, he buys for himself or his family, right? He doesn't. And so there's the problem. What do you get somebody who doesn't, if he needs it, he buys it. It's not like you're going to go out and buy him a car or a computer or whatever, because we don't have that kind of money in our old age.
Well, that's what I would need to do to keep up with him. Here, son, here's a new car.
Right.
For you and the family.
Right. Great. I mean, we're not like Shaq. We're not like buying people houses and cars and stuff like that for Christmas. Okay, great. So, all right. I get it.
Shaq could have bought me a car.
Yeah.
Having hot chocolate this morning, by the way.
I see that. Look at PJ having his hot chocolate. I had to, it took me an extra 5 minutes to start recording this podcast earlier because I had coffee in the making and so now here it is really super hot and yummy. So all good. So anyway.
Hey, I want to ask you.
I was going to say you're going to Fort Myers. So we're going to have to make arrangements on when, because a week from today, Christmas Day. Yeah.
Christmas Day is a week from today. Yeah. Where we normally
record this a week from today as we record this. So we're going to have to figure out when we're going to record the next episode of the podcast.
If you're comfortable with it, because I know you need to have it all produced up and everything before we put it out on the internet. Maybe we could do it Tuesday because I will be back. I know.
Yeah.
On the
I think
25th.
that'll.
I'll probably be back. I'll probably be back like Saturday or maybe even Friday.
Oh, okay. So you're going to be Friday this week. So you're not spending Christmas in Fort Myers.
No, I figured I'd let him have Christmas with his family, his kids.
Right. Yeah, that's a good thing.
I know as a man growing up myself, I always like Christmas Day kind of be, you know, my family.
Cool.
I didn't like all the in-laws and the, you know, parent, and kind of like, you know, I especially when my kids were like, you know, kids.
Right.
I wanted the whole family to be together Christmas Day.
Right.
And I didn't really want outside interference. That might sound cold, but that's just kind of the way I rolled. So I figured, he may want the same. He may want, a little privacy for Christmas Day because his kids are getting older too, and they're not going to be, they're not going to be in the house, for, well, who knows? They may be in the house a lot longer. I don't
know. Who knows? Who knows?
Dad treats them so well. Why would they want to leave? That's why
exactly.
That's why I have a room there on call I can use anytime I want. Some days I just think I'm going to move into that little bedroom he has for me and Susan.
You keep saying that, and someday we'll see if that happens or not. So good for you. Yeah, cool.
I know you're go ahead.
No, to finish that thought, I said I don't even know what I'm doing for Christmas. I've got a few friends down Tampa, St. Pete that all of us orphans, without family or whatever, are thinking we might get together for like Christmas dinner or something. We did it last year, so probably that's what we'll do. So anyway.
Well, I'm going to say you can always come see me
in Claremont.
Don't expect anything exciting because we're probably not going to do anything exciting.
I'll keep that in mind.
I may have the daughter and the boyfriend come over for dinner or something, but
I'll keep that in mind.
That's about the most of it.
Okay. Anyway, moving along.
I know you're an Amazon person like I am, probably, right?
I am an Amazon Prime subscriber. Yes, I am.
Has this ever happened to you? I told you I ordered the iPad.
Yes.
And I had to greet the driver at the door with a 6-digit code in order for him to hand me my iPad, which I think for, bigger purchases,
right?
It's a great idea, but I'd never heard of it. So when I first got the email, I said, I wonder if this is some kind of scam.
Right.
So I didn't really, really think about it. So I said, let me go to the regular, Amazon site with my password and everything.
Right.
Not using the link they sent me.
Right.
And there it was. For this purchase, you will need this 6-digit code to present to the driver when you accept your package, which I think really is a good move, especially when people, steal packages from the doors and things like that. An iPad, that was worth some money.
So to answer your question, I've never heard of that, but like you said, what a good idea. Because I don't want any porch pirates coming along and if they pick up my box of underwear, okay, fine. Great, right? Underwear or Sweet and Low or whatever it is I'm ordering, I get it. But if it's an iPad, I kind of think I want to make sure that somebody puts that sucker in my hand and I, get to say thank you. So good idea. Very cool idea. Yeah, I've never heard of that before, but what a great idea.
And I was even wondering, well, is the driver really going to, ring the doorbell, have me go to the door and say,
right,
I need the 6-digit code before you
hey man,
hand you this box.
Hey man, you got the secret code.
And here the doorbell rang. I went to the doorbell. There's the driver.
Cool.
Do you have the 6-digit code?
Yes.
Wonder what he does. No, I don't. What is it?
He probably would have told you to check your email or whatever for sure, but hats off to Amazon. That's a good idea. I like that. I've never had that. I have never bought anything. I'm trying to think now. I've never bought anything super expensive from Amazon. Let's see. When I bought my iPad, no, I bought it right from the Apple store. I bought it in the app. Well, no, that's not true. I was just thinking, what did I buy at the Apple store? I bought my phone and I bought my little earbuds. But the iPad I bought direct from Apple and they shipped it to me. And well, that was a year and a half ago. So it didn't need a No special code or nothing. They just dropped it off at the door. How about that?
Okay,
Wow.
Mr. Tech Guy. Now that we're
Yes.
talking about this new iPad,
Yes.
remember I had the Amazon pad first.
Yeah.
It was if you're used to Apple products, it was lame.
Yes, it is.
It was hard to operate. The camera
Yes.
was very weak. It wasn't Apple quality.
Well, it was less than $100. Come on.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah. So anyway,
So when I got that, I also got earbuds. I mean, not expensive earbuds, the $25 earbuds, not the real expensive earbuds. They work great on the Apple, the little Apple, not the Apple, but the little
Amazon Fire thing. Yep.
Yeah. So I sent back the Amazon pad. And when I got my new iPad, I figured, okay, I'll just use these, little iPods I had.
Yep.
It doesn't detect them. Somehow did it get locked to my Amazon pad and won't give it up, or why? I put on
Yeah.
I put on the little thing that says,
A little Bluetooth thing.
Yeah,
I'm
Bluetooth thing.
assuming the earpods, well, they have to be Bluetooth, right?
Yeah.
They're wireless.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nothing.
Really? So somewhere on those earpods, do they have a case? Like I'm holding up.
Yeah,
my
they got like
Apple.
a little white case. You put it.
They'll have a
just-
little case.
looks-
So
it's
like,
just
see, on the
that.
back of on the back of my case, of my Apple case, there's a little itty bitty button that you press and hold so that it pairs with your gizmo, with your
Oh.
phone or with your whatever. So you've got to do that pairing thing. And I don't mean apples, peaches, pumpkin pie. I mean pair as in, syncs up with, and then it should find them. So yeah.
All right. Well, I will check that because they're in the other room.
Yeah. Okay. It won't do it automatically. No.
No, I have to turn it on. I have to turn on the.
Right. Well, the iPad's got to be, so the iPad has to be on, Bluetooth has to be on
Yeah.
the iPad. And then the little
then I'll push the button,
earpods.
and then it'll come up that particular the
Right.
iPad. Then I push that on, and we're connected.
Well, they don't have to come up. They won't, the earbuds won't automatically show up until you press and hold. Usually it's a press and hold on the little on the earbuds, whatever they happen to be. There's a button somewhere that's going to let them sync up with the iPad. And then you'll only have to do it the one time, because then the iPad will know, oh, we see them. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that'll work. That'll work.
That'll be my job for the day.
That's your job for today. And please, people, I think I've probably ranted on this every year, and I have to do it again. Thank you for the reminder on social media. I posted something on Facebook a couple of weeks ago because I got another email scam. And of course, it's like one a week now. I'm getting, you get these emails that are like, wait a minute, that doesn't, but they're getting better and better. So I do want to remind people that nobody, no company, Apple, Microsoft, Dell, HP, none of these companies, listen to me carefully, people, hear me now and believe me later. None of these companies are reaching out to you to tell you that, oops, there's something wrong with your gizmo and we need to talk. None of them are doing that. If you get an email like that, it is a scam.
They want to get into your computer so they can steal everything.
Yes. So if you get an email like that, it is a scam. Unless you have asked, unless I've written in to Apple or Microsoft. And by the way, they'll never do that anyway. They'll never reply that way. I mean, you got to call them and it costs you money because they do their support and blah, blah, blah. I get it. So none of these antivirus companies, none of these manufacturers are reaching out to you to say, oops, we have to talk to you. It's not happening. It's a scam 100% of the time. So there, I've done my public service announcement. I feel better now.
Now I've gotten these things that kind of look like, it could be somewhat, because that's how good they are.
Right.
I will immediately not push the little link down below. I will then take my phone, call the company, not using the number that they have right there on the little email they just sent you.
Of course not.
But like, let's say it comes from my bank.
Right.
Or my credit card company.
Right.
and something has went awry and I need to contact them right away. I'll say, well, okay, I will contact them right away. Not using the link, not using the little number on the email, but I will contact them at the number where I know it's good.
That's right.
And usually they'll say, no, you don't need to worry about nothing like that. No,
that's not,
you're good.
That was not us. No.
And I go, okay, thank you very much. I just
Right.
wanted to call you directly
Right.
and ask you. So if you do get one of those things and it really does kind of like, you kind of want to go, don't hit the link, like Bill says.
Yeah.
Don't call the number that's on the email.
No.
Go to the official website or go to the official number of the company,
Right.
like your bank's phone number, and call them. And then they'll go, no, we didn't send you that.
Yeah, we didn't. We never,
No.
because they never will. Never. If they have a problem, I will occasionally get a text message or something. I used to, when I was with the credit union down in Sarasota, that, that's how they communicated with me. I was used to that. Okay, fine. But even then, if it was something that was like really kind of weird looking, I would call even then. And for those of you who have a little bit of techiness to you, if you get an email that looks weird, look at the sender, because it'll say like Apple support. And then you click on it and it shows the actual email address that it came from. And it's like gobbledygook, alphabet soup, plus a letter, plus a number, plus a symbol at, Vladimir.Ukraine. It's like, oh, come on. Really? That's your email address? Apple, wink, wink. So, all right. So
yeah,
anyway.
Apple support. I get those Apple support.
Yes.
At,
right.
some
but,
weird.
But what I'm saying is I can put any, like I can send BJ an email and in the from line, it could say Apple support. But if you click on it, or if you look, there's usually a little down arrow or a something that will expand the real email address. And then it'll show the real email address. Oh, that's from Bill. I can see that.
Yeah. Well, I've even gotten those where it says like Apple support or whatever.
Yeah.
Then you click, it says Apple. The email is apple.support@yahoo.com. And I'm going, oh yeah. That's them. All right.
That's them.
That's Apple. They're using Yahoo, man.
Yeah,
I know that's them.
Exactly. So people, please, it's Christmas. The scams are out there. The scams are falling like snowflakes in Cleveland. Don't fall for any of that stuff. Please take our word for it. Anyway, if you got a question, post it on Facebook. I will see it and I will tell you that it is a scam. I was going to say, I will offer you my best advice, but I already know what my advice is going to be. It's a scam. Don't fall for it. There you go. Done.
As we're trying to keep people safe and healthy over this holiday weekend.
Yes, we are. We're doing our public service, doggone it, just like we used to do on the radio. Doing our public service announcements.
A study has found, here's another one of those studies.
Okay.
Starbucks festive themed hot drinks have the same amount of sugar as 3 cans of Coca-Cola.
3.
Not 1 can, not 2 cans.
3
cans of Coca-Cola.
Of sugar.
That's how much sugar is in those nice little festive themed. Now, see, my wife likes those. My daughter likes those.
Wow.
I'll take like a tea.
Right.
Or I'll get a coffee, maybe.
Real coffee. Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't get like the little pumpkin spice, cinnamon twist, Yahoo, strawberry. No.
With sprinkles. Somebody posted that on my Facebook wall yesterday. It showed a cup of coffee and a donut. And it said, yes, people, I'm having a donut without sprinkles. Dieting is hard. So yeah, 3 cans of, oh my gosh. I can feel my teeth rotting as you even talk about that. It's like, oh my goodness. So yeah, I mean, it's just, I know dieting is tough. I get it. I'm trying to, my New Year's resolution hasn't come to New Year's yet, but I am, damn it. This is Bill pounding on the table. Damn it. I am going to be better with this in the coming year. Because yeah, I went to whatchamacallit. I was at Sam's Club Thursday or Friday buying supplies, and darned if a bag of tortilla chips didn't jump into my cart. Jump into my cart. A big one.
Them some of bitches.
I hate it when that happens. So I had to take it home, and I've been nibbling on it all weekend. And I think that was part of my problem last night. We were talking earlier in the show how I didn't sleep well last night. And I think part of it was I just ate too many of the doggone tortilla chips, and they were just like rummaging around down in my tummy down there. So anyway.
Well, I must say my son, who actually, he's not as old as his old man, obviously, but he's no spring chicken, but he doesn't eat that much meat. He doesn't take in that much sugar. He really watches what he eats.
Yeah.
And like he'll go to a fast food restaurant maybe, or
right.
Go nuts on, maybe a large steak or something.
Right.
And he says the next 2 days, man, it just eats him up.
Well, you and I have had this discussion before that I'm very much into the keto/carnivore thing, which is mostly just eat a steak, damn it. Just eat a steak. So if his body reacts to that, okay, I hear you, I understand, but I'm going to tell you, if all I did was eat steaks, I would be so much healthier. I would because you cut out the junk food and you cut out a lot of the stuff that's like, yeah, okay, if you see what they actually made those French fries with, you probably wouldn't, be eating those either. So anyway, we get into a whole big argument about that, which I have no intention of starting, but anyway, yeah, eat what feels right for you, but stay away from those triple macchiato, cinnamon swirl, strawberry, whatever with sprinkles on top. Just don't do it. Just
what I don't know what kind of diet that would be, but he's like really into like fruits and nuts. That's a lot of his diet.
Fruits have a lot of sugar in them. Fruits have and people will say, oh, it's natural sugar. Sugar is sugar. Your body doesn't think to itself, oh, this is natural sugar and not a diet, not a Coca-Cola. So I've done enough reading and watching of YouTube videos to be dangerous with that. So all I know is what works for me. So if it works for you and you're healthy and your doctor says you're okay, just keep doing it. That's all I can say.
Hot chocolate's probably not good for me, but
probably not.
I wanted to get into the holiday spirit this morning.
It's Christmas, doggone it. So you enjoy that, BJ. At least
it didn't have, the Mako cinnamon twist, all that other stuff.
Yeah.
It's just
hot chocolate.
Hot chocolate.
Did it have marshmallows on it? Because marshmallows are kind of, I almost give you a pass.
Sugar. They're basically
mini marshmallows.
What's that? They're basically sugar, but
I understand.
The top of it was filled with marshmallows. How do you not have hot chocolate without? In fact,
you got to have the little mini marshmallows on top. You really do. I think I give you a pass for that. So
in fact, I'm preparing it this morning, and I go, "Hey, dear, do we got any marshmallows?" She goes, "Yeah, I have some for cooking in that bag over there." So,
were they the big ones or the little ones?
It's the little ones, the
little ones. You got to use the little ones.
So I took a little handful and threw it in my
perfect
hot chocolate. It's a very nice, warming drink this morning.
All right, BJ Odom is going to finish his hot chocolate. I am going to have another slurp of coffee. You go refill whatever beverage you are enjoying right now, and we will be right back.
With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Welcome back. I'm Bill Stevens. That's BJ Odom. This is BJ and Bill, the podcast. Feel free to leave us that 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts, whether it's Apple or Spotify. There's others out there, I'm sure. Nothing comes to mind immediately. Those are the two big ones, Apple and Spotify. So wherever you're at, leave us that review. stop by the Facebook page. Just do a search for BJ and AND, spell it out, BJ and Bill Podcast, and you will find us there on the Book of Faces. So there you go. We were talking before we left about marshmallows and hot chocolate. It's a wonderful thing. And there you go. And that had nothing to do with what I wanted to talk about. What I wanted to talk about was that we record this podcast using a Zoom call. So everybody's done Zoom, especially if your kids have had to go to school with, the Zoom thing or whatever. So, and I was looking when we were starting the show that I couldn't find the button to record because there's buttons along the bottom of the Zoom screen. And the record button got pushed off to the side, so you have to go hunting for it in one of the menus, because now there is a button at the bottom of Zoom that says AI Companion, and I'm afraid to push it.
Does that mean we can bring somebody in on the podcast, which is an AI companion?
I'm gonna have to do some research on that. I think it's entirely possible that this program would get hijacked by AI, and it would be so much better than BJ and Bill that we'd be like, why are we even doing this? We're useless now. We're redundant. So there you go. So I don't know what the AI companion does on the show, but we'll have to find out.
AI gets scarier by the minute.
Yes, it does. And I have played with it online for, for social media stuff. Like, hey, AI, write me 10, Facebook posts talking about X, Y, or Z, talking about anything. Make them funny, make them short, make them punchy, make it have a good headline that it will get. And it just spits them out like clockwork, like bang, bang. You want 10? Why not 100? Here you go. Bam, 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 bam. And it's like, oh my God, it would take me 3 hours to try and write that out, to be creative like that. And this damn thing does it in 10 seconds.
Wow, maybe I should have you start doing a Facebook post. I'm trying to use my brain, and they pretty well suck sometimes.
AI, just go to and now Google has it too. I mean, you can go to ChatGPT. That's the one that everybody knows. But sometimes it's so busy that it's like you'll sign into the ChatGPT website and it's like, sorry, we're busy right now. Come back later. But Google has one called Bard, B-A-R-D, which was Shakespeare's name, right? Anyway, and it's also free and it's also just as good, I think. And you just tell it what you want and it just spits stuff out like it's amazing. So anyway, I don't know. I think Elon might have been right. I think we should probably pump the brakes a little on the whole AI thing and figure out exactly what it is we want this thing to do before it takes over and starts telling us what we need to do. So I don't know. Okay.
Now I just heard that this was like in the last week. I read this story. I probably heard the story, not really read the story. Cause I like to, I like things with pictures that move and go.
Yeah, I get it.
So supposedly there is an AI program right now that's out there produced by medical people that you can feed it all your information, your age, this, that, and it can tell you
right
the age in which you will die.
Really?
Would you want to see? Now that's something, I was already told as a small child I wouldn't live past my teen years, and I've outlived that.
So you've already broke the mold.
Yeah. So I don't really think I want a computer going, okay, BJ, you have 2 more years and 3 months in which to live.
Right.
Because I think in 2 months, in like 2 years and 2 months, I'd be going, oh shit, it's all over with.
Right. So is the machine going to be right because you've told yourself this is when I go, this is when I pass, or not? So good question. I don't know the answer to that. I think just like anything else AI related, it just probably takes all the information that it knows that on average, 68-year-old men who have had a heart transplant and, blah, 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 blah. On average, those guys die at the age of whatever.
Yeah, I'm afraid the thing will come back. You have a day and a half left.
Right.
Enjoy it.
Don't, BJ, don't buy any green bananas because you won't see them to ripen. No, I get it. I get it. Would I want to know? No, I wouldn't want to know. I wouldn't. Of course not. I mean, that's one of those sci-fi conundrum things. It's like, if somebody could tell you, or it's like the X-Files, whatever. There was an X-Files episode. I don't know why I thought of that, but there was an X-Files episode where some psychic or something could tell somebody exactly when and how they would die. And it's like, do you really want to know?
I wouldn't really want to know.
I really wouldn't want to know either. No. So I get it.
Most Americans are even afraid to go to the doctor because they don't want to know, like 6 out of 10 Americans delay going and seeking medical attention. A study has found because they really don't know. They're afraid they're going to get a bad diagnosis. So they don't want to know.
I'm probably one of those 6 out of 10. I'm probably one of I'm not going to say I'm afraid. I'm just going to say, I don't want to know. Because I feel I'm cynical enough to think that if you go to a doctor, if he doesn't find anything wrong, he doesn't make any money. So he's incentivized to find you. It's like a real estate agent. Have you ever heard a real estate agent say, no, now is not a good time to buy a home?
No, now's an excellent time to buy a home.
It's always an excellent time to buy a home. That's correct. That's correct. So for a doctor to tell you, now you're fine, get out of here. Really? Cool. So if there's a doctor out there that can do that, I'll schedule an appointment with you.
Now, it's really weird. Now, sometimes I will say I'm kind of hesitant to go to the doctor if I think something's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But then other times I'm thinking, you know what? If I go now, I'll find out and maybe I can cure it. Where if I wait another month or two to see if it gets better on its own,
right,
then it may be so bad that it can't get better on its own. So I kind of have two schools of thought on that.
I hear that. And that's good. I mean, it's not good that you're sick. It's good that you're thinking that way, that it's like, okay, if I nip it in the bud now, maybe it doesn't get worse. Maybe if I don't nip it in the bud now, my body handles it like certain diseases, certain infections that were spreading around the world a couple of years ago. Maybe I let my body's own immune system handle it and I'm okay in the future. I don't know. We're on thin ice here, so I don't know.
Yep.
I know.
Life and its decisions.
Life is a series of decisions that you've hit the nail on the head this morning, as you often do, BJ Odom. Life is a series of decisions, and you are ultimately responsible for all of them.
Speaking of decisions that someone makes.
Yes.
I'd like to know what his decision is, if he liked the BJ and Bill podcast, if he's listened to the BJ and Bill podcast, or if he listened and he goes, man, that really sucked. But I was at the Snowball, as you saw pictures of,
Yes.
the wife and I at the Snowball.
Yes.
And we were setting with this couple. We're setting with a few couples.
Right.
And somehow I told the one gentleman that I was chatting with that you and I did a podcast. I was in radio for many years and I'm no longer, I go like, what did you do before you retired or something?
Right.
Like that?
Right.
Well, I was in radio for many, many years. And my old morning partner that I had for over 10 years, we now do a podcast together. He goes, oh, really? What's the name of the podcast? And he had to write it down and everything. He goes,
wow.
What's it about? I go, oh, basically it's just two old guys talking about getting old. I go, really, our radio show is pretty much, we just talked about daily life and things going on in the world.
Right.
Is it political? And I go, oh, no, we don't touch politics because we lose half our audience.
Right.
That's the way that works out.
Right.
So, no, we stay away from politics. But we talk, about, things going on in the world and things about aging. It's really a show about nothing, but it's kind of interesting to listen to.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to seeing him somewhere again in the community and say, wow, did you listen to the BJ and Bill podcast? And what did you think?
There you go.
I don't know if he'll tell me Well, I listened and it sucked. You might say, oh, I listened. Yeah, it was that. It was okay. Yeah. It was good. Yeah.
But I'd almost rather, well, of course I wouldn't want to hear that somebody thinks it sucks, but I'd rather hear an honest opinion than somebody go, oh, they don't even look you in the eye. They look away and they go, oh yeah, it was okay. It was good. Great. It was fine. Fine. The worst word ever. It was fine.
Well,
so yeah, I hear you.
And then we got talking. He goes, well, with you being in radio, did you ever meet anyone famous?
Yeah, a few, yeah.
And believe it or not, I said Peter Noone of Herman's Hermits was one of the most interesting people I have ever talked to in my entire life. He toured with the Beatles when he was like 15, 16 years old.
Right.
The Rolling Stones. I said, that guy had stories that he couldn't even tell us or we'd have to kill us.
Right.
But I go, he was a very interesting human being. And then the guy turns to his wife with his eyes as big as silver dollars. He goes, my God, this guy knows Peter Noone. And then she went, oh my God, I love Peter Noone. We just saw him. And we got to go backstage. I'm like in the super fan club. And oh man. So the guy almost, he almost had a convulsion while he was talking to me.
Coronary attack right there. Well, there you go. Cool for you. So you brightened somebody's day with a story from the BJ and Bill past. That's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome. Ah, cool.
I didn't have the heart to say, we're trying to get him on the show now. And I've called a few people and they all say, he's too busy right now.
Yeah. He doesn't want to talk to you. Yeah.
I'm going to call again. I'm going to say, come on, man.
Worth a shot. It's worth a shot.
If you told him who we were, he'd want to be on our show. That's
funny thing is, you might be right. You might be right.
He might go, BJ and Bill who?
Well, probably. But if you gave him a little bit of the backstory, gave him a little bit of the now he's not going to remember. He's not going to remember one pair of small town DJs from 20 years ago. But I'm sure if you reminded him of, oh, well, this was when you were touring and doing this, he'd probably have more stories. He'd have more great stories, I'm sure. So, yeah, it's worth a shot.
You know what's going to happen now, don't you? This couple's going to go to another one of his shows.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to, they're like super fans. And so they're like in the fan club.
Right.
Which always gets, the meet and greets afterwards or whatever.
Right.
They're going to go, we met one of your friends. We met BJ Odom.
Right.
Who the hell is he?
Hopefully he's nice enough. And I'm guessing he's nice enough to go, oh, that's cool. In the back of his mind, he's going, who the hell is that? But
hopefully if that happens, his manager, who has told me that he's too busy to do an interview on a podcast, will go, oh my God, this is the guy that's been calling and he's close friends with Peter.
Hello.
I'm going to call him again. I got the number. I'm going to say, what?
Give it a shot. Just checking in. Now he's going to be super busy Christmas, New Year's, whatever. But come February, when the world slows down, after the Super Bowl or whatever, yes, it's going to be like, nothing going on. So, yeah. I like that. There's that one TV commercial for one of the sports betting things that's like, cherish every moment of football because pretty soon it's going to be March. So yeah,
I've seen that ad quite a few times.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. So anyway, there you go. So we will try to get Peter Noone.
As we're talking we talked football, but I still get excited after football season because I'm a big basketball fan.
Right.
Of course, I'm a Golden State Warriors, Steph Curry fan.
Yeah, Steph Curry, but not Draymond Green fan.
Draymond has just, actually I said last year in the playoffs because there was a game that he got suspended or he got booted from.
Right.
And they lost the game. And I says, somebody needs to really take control of this guy because he's blowing it for the whole team.
Right.
And here now he's got who knows when, I haven't read up. I think they have finally said how many games he'll be suspended. before he can go back or what. I don't know. But in the last 2 years, maybe even 3 years, he's caused more damage to that team. I know he's one of the key players and they keep him around, but I think, in my opinion, and this is, just one guy's opinion, it's time for them to send him packing. And as I've said too, for the last 3 or 4 years, send him packing, get a nice big tall guy somewhere. They need some height on that team.
Yes, they do. Yeah. So for you non-NBA fans out there, this is a guy that plays for BJ's Golden State Warriors, and he got himself suspended for actually just like punching some guy flat out right in the middle of the floor in a game last week. And it's not the first time. And like you said, I have a feeling it won't be the last time. And yes, if I am management for the team, I'm having a serious sit down with the guy and say, your contract is hanging by a thread here, So yeah, I don't know.
He is going to have, some therapy.
Yeah,
some counseling sessions. Hopefully that'll help a little bit for his
right.
Maybe his anger management he needs. He is when he's playing to the best of his ability and not hot-headed, he is a fantastic player. But just it seems like the last couple years, there's been something that's been off with him, and it hasn't been fixed.
I would find I believe that not getting a multi-million-dollar paycheck might be therapeutic enough.
Yeah, well, he's not getting paid, I don't think, while he's suspended.
No, he's not. I'm sure he's not. I mean, there would be no sense in paying somebody to be on suspension. That's kind of defeats the whole purpose.
And I would say that, in most contracts, how they read, maybe not in the NBA but I would think, there's some kind of clause in there. Hey, with your behavior, we can X out your contract and move on from here.
I'm sure you're right. I'm sure there's what do they call that? I forget the word, but there's if you're a jerk, we can just cut you for no particular, other than the only reason we need to cut you is that you're being a jerk and that we don't like you anymore, and, pack your bags and get out of here. And honestly, who would take him? He's, next thing he's playing with what's his name over in Taiwan. I mean, it's nobody's going to take him in the NBA with a reputation like that. So I don't know. Well,
unless they null and void that contract, but he also has a contract with TNT.
Oh, he does?
To go join Shaq.
I don't.
He's had that for a couple of years.
Okay.
When he stops playing, he has a contract to go.
Really?
For TNT.
That doesn't sound like it ends well to me, but maybe they get, like you said, maybe they talk some sense into him. Or, of course, he's not going to be punching out anybody on a TV. I hope not. Go ahead, take a swing at Shaq, see where that gets you. So, yeah.
Now, I think you've actually reported on it because you do the Shaq blog on Shaq Fu Radio.
Yes.
But when we get to the playoffs this year, because usually TNT has the West. Mm-hmm. And ABC or
ESPN, yeah.
ESPN has the East,
right?
And when they get to the final championship, now I don't know what network it's going to be on, but I heard Stephen A. and our good friend Shaq is going to be doing the play
doing a couple of games. Yes,
yeah. I think they're the halftime and the pregame shows,
right? So, and I have reported on that. Yes, that there is going to be some cross-pollination there, so that'll be fun. I look forward to watching that.
That'll be fun to watch,
yeah, that'll be great. So yeah, it's craziness.
My luck is, as I said, my son has bought me tickets to go see the Warriors play the Magic here in Orlando,
right,
in March. By then he'll have probably either got tired of Draymond and the Lakers, and been traded to the Lakers, or said, I want out.
Right.
Send me somewhere else. And now he's playing somewhere else, and I'm going to see the Warriors without Steph Curry. I don't care where Steph Curry would go. He could go to any team in the NBA tomorrow, and I would automatically become a fan of that team.
Okay.
I'm more of a Steph guy than I am a Warriors guy, but I'm a strong Warriors guy because of Steph.
Okay, that's fair. And because I've wondered about that. You've talked about that in the past, and I'm like, Really? We're in Florida. Why are you're a fan of a team that you don't even get to watch their games because they're all out west. They're in the middle of the night they're late. So it's a Steph Curry thing. It's not a Golden State thing. Okay, cool. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I still enjoy Golden State. And I enjoyed their ride, and I like to see him, get another title. I like to see him get another MVP. But
right. But if Steph goes to Cleveland, you're a Cavaliers fan tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay.
And if he does ever leave the Warriors, which he's been there his entire career so far,
he's never leaving.
If he ever does go to another team, if he went to the Magic, I'm just saying, I would be a happy camper because I'll bet you there would be a few Magic games that I would be attending this.
Oh yeah.
Season. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, just like people go to see the superstars of any particular sport. I mean, people would go, I'm sure that when the Patriots, or in later years, when the Buccaneers were playing your team with Tom Brady, the chances of you going to see that game or paying more attention to that game rose exponentially. I still watch the Lakers occasionally because LeBron is there, and he was the savior in Cleveland and all of that. So I get it. I'm not going to say I'm a huge LeBron fan, but if it's a choice between watching the Lakers and somebody else, yeah, I'm gonna choose the Lakers with LeBron. So I understand completely.
And I must say, and it might be some of the Shaq influence too,
right?
But I'm a Lakers fan when I'm not a Warriors fan.
Okay. Shaq influence. You should be an Orlando fan. Well, you are an Orlando fan because you're nearby.
Yeah. So I don't know. But speaking of fans, I know. Well, let me see. Yeah, we're getting close.
Yeah, you got 5 minutes. Go for it.
But speaking of fans, that's one bad thing about Florida.
Which is?
Let's say, we're in Florida. We like to root for at least I do. I like to root for the Florida teams.
Sure.
I like to root for the Bucks.
Sure.
I like to root for the Magic. Every once in a while I'll go to a Magic game. I like to root for the Tampa Bay, Rays.
The Rays. Yeah. Lightning, Rays. Yeah.
Yeah, but have you ever noticed when you go to a Florida team to, got your garb on and everything?
Oh, I know. I hear what's coming, and you're right.
There are so many transplants here in Florida that 50% of the jerseys are for the other team. I hate that.
I hear you. And they say that's also a huge issue, even bigger in Las Vegas. That if you go to watch a Raiders game in Las Vegas and whoever they're playing, because it's Vegas, everybody, who cares? I'm in Chicago. Who cares? We're going to Vegas for the weekend. And part of it is we're going to watch, the Raiders play the Bears or whatever. Yes. It's the stadium is full of jerseys for the other team. I get it. I mean, all right, it sells seats. What the heck? But you're right. It's like, okay, Tampa Bay Lightning scores, or the other team, whoever they're playing, scores, and there's just as big of a cheer in the place for the other team to score. Yeah, that's kind of lame. It
makes me sad. It really does.
You're sad.
Makes me so sad. I feel like I'm at the opposing team's court sometimes.
Right.
Especially when you go see the Rays. I've been to a Rays game or two where, and I've also been, to the Marlins. And you go to see the Cubs play, the Marlins.
Right.
There's more Cub fans than, at least I feel like I'm home there because I usually do wear a Cubs jersey. So I'm just as bad as the rest of them.
So you're selling out just as bad as everybody else.
But when I go see the Marlins play the Cubs, there are 10 times more Cubs jerseys than there are Marlins jerseys.
I get it. Stadium. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So it's the big sport. Well, the big sports. I was going to say that I don't see that like I was thinking Tampa Bay Lightning or Florida, Panthers or whatever. Okay. That's pretty, nobody's driving down from Buffalo to watch the Sabres play. Well, maybe they are, if it's really bad in Buffalo, let's get out of here. Let's go to, Fort Lauderdale and watch the Sabres play, the Florida Panthers. So, but yeah, it's not too bad with hockey, but like you said, baseball. Wow. And I don't know, maybe that's just a function of, people like to travel and people like to, I kind of have that in the back of my mind. I would say something stupid like when I retire, but I'm kind of already there. That I would love to travel to some different cities to see baseball games in different, go to a different place. That's kind of a thing. People have that kind of tour, that world tour mentality in the summer where they'll go to a different, drive to different cities all over and see a baseball game in all the big, the major league cities. I think that'd be cool. I just think that would be cool and a fun thing to do. So anyway.
Well, I always thought what was funny too, when we were in Fort Myers, of course we had the Boston Red Sox with spring training.
Right.
We also had, we had the Minnesota Twins.
Yes.
And I had more of an in with the Minnesota Twins as far as, when we were on radio, getting tickets here now and again.
Sure. Well, that's from our shout out to our old buddy, Ted Fitzgeorge, for that. Yeah.
Yeah. But I remember when we'd go see the Twins, especially when we'd see the Twins.
Right.
Play like the Yankees, or before the Red Sox came to town, play the Red Sox.
Right.
You'd be in the park and there was not that many Twins fans. It was all New York and Boston fans when they play those two teams. I felt so sorry for the teams. Like, hey, this is supposed to be a home game. Why are you wearing all those bad jerseys?
Yeah. You're right, though. But I mean, think of when we were in Fort Myers. Well, Southwest Florida in general was kind of like everybody from up north would funnel down I-75 until you ended up in Naples or Fort Myers or Cape Coral or whatever. And that's, where the highway ended for everybody coming from New York, from, Boston, from where all those Northeast cities, and also Ohio, from Cincinnati and Columbus and Cleveland and all. They would all funnel down to Southwest Florida. There you go. It works.
But I guess I've just been here so long in Florida. I support Florida teams. Like my son is still a Bears fan.
Right.
I still, of course, I've lost interest in baseball, but I would still, if I went to a game, like to see the Cubs and probably, root for the Cubs.
Sure.
But all the other sports like football and stuff, I don't care if the Bears come to town. I don't care, if, the Indiana Colts come to town.
Right.
I'm still Tampa Bay all the way.
That's good. That's good. And I always found that funny that your son was such a Cubs fan. He's never lived in Chicago. He's never, right? I mean,
well, where I was born was Northwest Indiana, which was right outside Chicago.
Right.
You could be at the ballpark within an hour.
Okay.
And his grandfather, my dad, was just a huge, and I mean huge, Chicago Cubs fan.
Cool.
In his retirement days, he would sit at his house, with WGN, the Superstation, and probably watch every Cubs game there was. And of course, growing up as a younger kid, even, he only was in Indiana till he was like 4, but his mother still lived there. So he'd go up north, in the summer times.
Right.
So she'd usually take him to a Cubs game. My grandpa would take him, my dad would take him to a Cubs game. So he really grew up, and Cubs the Bears fan too. He's a big Bears fan.
Oh, well, tell him I'm sorry that my old, I haven't lived in, I was in Cleveland with my mother in her last days. I mean, that was probably 10 years ago, 15 years ago, but I haven't lived in Cleveland in 40 years. So yeah, I still, if the Browns are on, I'm going to watch. Sure. I get it. So yeah, those old hometown things, they're like kind of baked into your sports psyche there.
DNA, so. Yeah. But now with sports, like I said, Cubs, maybe, but any of the other teams, I'm back in the, I was even growing up, I was even a big kid because we were so close to Chicago. I was even a Blackhawks fan.
Okay.
But when the Tampa Bay Lightning, play Chicago and the Blackhawks, I'm Tampa Bay all the way.
Right.
I'm not even got an ounce of rooting for the Chicago team.
Well, there you go. So there's all the hometown thinking and I know that maybe that would be a good topic for a show someday about all the hometown stuff that you bring with you when you end up in Florida or wherever you end up landing in your later years or whatever. So yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. All right, cool. Very good. All right, Mr. Odom. So this program will air on Wednesday this week, and it'll be the last program that airs before Christmas. So
oh wow. So
yeah.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
I was going to say Happy New Year. There'll be a show between now and then. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, however you choose to celebrate it, however you choose to express it. whatever. Make it a good one. That's all we're saying. Just have a good time. Be safe. Have a good time. Be with family.
You know what I might do?
Uh-oh.
Since I'm going to see the big boss.
Yes.
This week.
Our boss.
Yeah, because I know he is taking a couple weeks off.
Cool.
So, I mean, he does a few podcasts. I might just say, hey, are you doing a podcast for Christmas week? The week after Christmas? Are you taking that whole week off till through New Year's? And if he says, yeah, I'll go, well, maybe Bill and I will take the week off too then.
Oh, I hear you.
But I'll inform you, and I'll find out.
And I'm fine to record it. Normally we record on a Monday, like I said, and the next Monday is Christmas as of this recording. So yeah, that's behind the scenes stuff. We'll make it happen. No big deal.
Okay. So you'll probably, you'll hear a podcast next
You'll
week.
hear something, doggone it. We wouldn't let you down.
Because it'll be podcast number 69 and feeling fine.
All right, everybody. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night, or whatever, to all a good night, or happy holidays
Kwanzaa.
to all. Yeah, or happy Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate, you celebrate it. We respect and we honor whatever you celebrate here at the show. How's that?
That's wonderful.
Thank you so much. All right, everybody, have a good holiday. And until then, it's just up to BJ Odom to say,
see ya. Ho, 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 ho.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.